Hello, my name is Dr. Shambles, and today will be a more chilled video. In case you guys didn't see my posts on the community tab, I said that I'll leave some of my more ambitious projects on the side because they're kind of dependent on the sim getting updated, and by the time I'm recording this, the sim still hasn't been updated. So for now, there's not much more to cover. So I'll just give you guys some input the way that I can on the EB-01, and now we'll be just looking at some deck lists, and I'll be talking about the probable strategies that you'll go through. I'll also be shouting out a comment on a YouTube video from VV Theory. This comment was from a guy that plays on the East, so he's right now the best way for us to get input in how the meta will go, since we cannot try it out ourselves, so yeah. So right now the red purple law has been doing very great, actually. 8 entries of 91 total, is already doing much better than the OP06. I'll give my opinion on I believe how things will be a little bit in OP06 on the west. We do gotta keep in mind that although OP06 already went away on the east, us on the west, we still didn't even get into the OP06. And so the OP06 meta kind of keeps evolving because the West still researches it, because we are still going into it. So red purple law is doing pretty fine, and now I'm gonna go over a deck list that will show us normally what is the strategy that we want to do. So first of all is Otama. Otama will help us against the yellow color and against Moria specifically. Why? Moria plays a lot of 5k bodies, and you kind of don't want to trash them, you don't want to KO them, because if they go for trash, Moria takes the advantage of his strategy, which is play them from trash. So you kind of need to target the ones that you don't want him to see on the trash and bottom deck them the best you can. Still, obviously, with his leader effect, he still can trash from his hand the card that he needs and then just play it for free. But he's still overall better value, obviously. Otama will just help you with that. Not only Otama helps you with the yellow matchup, because yellow matchup does play a good amount of 5k characters as well. Keep in mind there are some new leaders like Yamato and Yamato that does not play so many 5ks, and overall the 5ks are going down when in the yellow color, but still in my OP06 experience right now, the black color feels really overtuned against us. So if I am struggling against Moria and Sakazuki, this will probably help us a lot. So yeah, probably will be playing Otama. Next is Zoro. Now on my EB-01 announcement cards, I did talk about that Zoro would be replaced by Kid Killer. This is because at the time I was seeing a lot of replays that people did not play the Rush Zoro at all and was just playing the 4 Kids and Killers. Now the reason that he came back in popularity and he's actually now being played not only at 2 but at 3 and 4 is because people found out that these 2 cards in specifically, the Kid and Killer and Ronoro Zoro, do very well against the Sakazuki and Moria. Keep in mind these 2 decks are decks that right now on the sim, I still do play on the OP06, on the sim, and I struggle a lot against Moria and Sakazuki. So the way that the East goes about it is, okay, if I can't build board, the board I build will just be Rush. So these 2 just come in handy just to make insane amount of pressure. Because if you cannot control their cards in hand, at least let's just control their lives. They'll probably still get removed next turn, but it's overall better value than you trying to build board to just get removed next turn. So yeah, at least you can make some pressure with this, and that's why these 2 cards are together now, much more than they were before, much more popular now. Promo Law is a card that also, just like Otama, gives minus 2k, so it'll be good against the yellow matchup as well as the Moria matchup. I'll probably be playing him again. Right now on OP06 on the sim, I only been seeing Yamatos, Yutas and Peronas. So many of their bodies are 6k, so the 2k depletion is not as good, so I took him out temporarily. But probably, I already know in my locals a lot of people want to play Moria, so this guy will probably come in handy. Always adapt your deck profile to your locals or whatever the event you want to go and aim for. So yeah, he's probably gonna be played again with me. The comment actually made a very funny joke. They call this card the McDonald's toy. Wow, dude, this is actually so good. But so yeah, I'm just gonna steal that joke because it was very funny. I never heard it before. Don't worry, I'll shout out that comment at the end of the video. Next is Gordon, no need to explain to him. There were people that were asking me if in OP06 I play Gordon or Raise Max. You still play both of them in the OP06. The only thing in OP06 is it was very popular for you to play either 4 Gordon or 4 Raise Max and then just play 2 of the other one. I already have 4 Gordon, so I'm just gonna keep the Gordon and play 2 Raise Max. As the EB-01, it's very popular for you to play 4 of both, so you probably want to still grab 4 of both if you can. Shuraya helps you a lot to counter the Yamato. This guy counters completely the strategy of green-yellow Yamato, so that's why you want to keep him in your deck. Not only that, he helps you a lot against 6k leaders as well. Pretty much everything that goes with leaders, obviously because of his effect, it's just really good. But I found him if I have him in my starting hand against Yamato, especially now that, as I said, she's super popular on the sim on OP06, pretty much I win because they do not build as much board and I can just keep defending him by dropping 1 case. And by the time that they realize that, and by the time I let my first 2 lives go away, they just can't really come back. So he's the MVP against Yamato, but he also goes really well against 6k leaders. And I know in my locals there will be many people still playing 6k leaders, so he'll come in clutch. Raise Max is the same as Gordon. Kid and Killer already explained. I also explained that he is a good swing for game as a sneaky swing. You can use your leader ability to then play him for hand to get an extra swing that your opponent does not expect. This will be also a 7k swing because of his effect. So yeah, very good. Shashi and Penguin, no need to explain. Beppo, the ratio, I need to talk about the ratio on Beppo. People already know what he does, people already know he's very good, but he's starting to be very popular at 2 or 3, although there are still some deck profiles that play 4. I don't understand why, I really enjoy this card, but we'll see. Maybe with EB-01 there's just not as much space for him and you don't feel like you need as much. So yeah, we'll see, but for now I'm very skeptical of playing him at 2. I would really prefer to play him at 4. Next is Zorojuro. Zorojuro is very popular on the East. As incredible as it seems, he's very popular on the East and people still play him a lot on the East. But here on the West, people are starting to just shift to the Ein. Usually you don't play both of them, you play one or the other. And people here, for what I've heard, people do prefer Ein, and I do prefer Ein. You guys know I hate this card, I hate Zorojuro. And to be honest, I don't know how the East finds value on this card. I mean, every time I play this card, it just gets removed. Or sometimes it just ramps up 1 Dawn and then gets removed, so gets destroyed, whatever. So I don't know, I would prefer to play Ein to at least make it harder for them to remove, and pretty much Ein gets the same value as Zorojuro. So yeah, we do gotta understand this is a question of popularity the most. Just like, for example, the Rush NL on the yellow NL deck. On the East, the Rush NL was not very popular. People usually play them 1 or 2 copies of him, and then when it came to the West on OP05, people actually found out good value to play him at 3 or even 4. So maybe it's just question maybe on the research that the West does, but for now West does prefer the Ein over Zorojuro, but if you guys still prefer the Zorojuro, fine. I just don't. Next is Kid, no need to explain. Reiju will be the only consistency card that you'll have. Red Purple Law will still struggle with consistency, and Reiju is the only card that you'll be playing to cover up that problem. I mean, as you can see, you do not play Searchers on OP06. You do play Buena Fiesta a bit. He is very popular on OP06, but on EB-01, because of problems of space again, people just decided to drop him. And to be honest, I actually dropped Buena Fiesta even in OP06. I was just not getting value out of his search. I was just using him as a 2k counter, so I just took him out to play the Otamas again with the Sanji's 2ks. So yeah, Reiju will be the only one to help you with the consistency. So watch out for that. Sometimes you just won't see the more optimal hand that you would like against a specific matchup, but you know, it is what it is. The deck cannot be perfect in everything. Next is Itokiri Kamazu. I talked about in my very early videos that this card was a very good card and was very popular on OPO6. People were playing 2, now people are playing 4 of him. He's a 2k counter, and I've been giving him a try on OPO6 at 2 copies. To be honest, the only value I gave him are the 2k counter, or sometimes when I use my leader ability, I sometimes don't have any other optimal drops to build board with my leader ability, and I'm like, okay, by the way, I always am in advantage when I do this, so I'm like, okay, I don't have better bodies to put out, so I'm just gonna put this Kamazu. This is the most value I got out of the card. I'm playing 2 copies, maybe at 4 I would see him more on early game, and he obviously, because of his effect, he does get more value on early game, but still. The only reason I drop him, again, is because I don't have more optimal drops, and if I'm already ahead, taking out the 2k out of hand to put a 5k power on the board is not bad. That's how I use him. Against Sakazuki, yes, he will be good at taking Tashigi and Brand New, for example. But I don't know, I would prefer if this said 2k or less, 2k power or less. This will help us against Rebecca. I don't know, I'm gonna try to squish in us at least 2 Fire Fists, because I still believe we're gonna need Fire Fists, but for now, let's just get this over with, you know, let's just keep talking about these deck lists. So yeah, Kamazu went up in popularity, and people are playing 4. And last but not least is Von Clay. I already talked about him, how much you need him on the announcement video. So yeah, he just helps you get over problem bodies with many power, because it just copies their power. And you can swing into leader by copying the power of big characters on the board. So yeah, it's just an overall good card, as well as a ramper, because it does give you an active zone as soon as you play him. So yeah, so now I'm just gonna shout out some other deck lists to give you guys some ideas. Here is a very interesting one where, because he was playing more of Kid Pirates, he decided to play the Killer Searcher. Very interesting. I don't know how this worked, but he did get 2nd place on a big tournament of 80 people, so he probably caught people off guard, and this helped him. So yeah, you guys can use this as well if you guys want. Personally, I don't think I'll be using this, but yeah. Last, there's another. This one is playing the Buena Fiesta, this variation, to search the Ein. This guy does prefer the Ein over Zorjuru, and Buena Fiesta does search Ein, and Gordon, and Razemax, and Law, and Shreya. So yeah, a good amount of targets, but as I said, I just started to use him as a 2k, so I dropped him. But if you guys are getting a lot of value of Buena Fiesta search, maybe you should consider this deck profile. This was the video. I kind of went ahead and talked to you guys about the strategy of going against Sakazuki and Moria, because I've been struggling a lot against those matchups in OPO6. So I decided to document this little input that I got on the EB-01 of the new strategy of just playing rush and just attacking, you know, using the best part of the red color. But yeah, now I'm just gonna shout out this comment right here. If you guys want to hear if you guys want to read this comment, you guys can either head over on the latest VV theory video, or you guys can just stop the frame and watch. But I would recommend to just go and watch the video, just to give the guy a view. This comment helped a lot. You guys can see how the matchups against the matchups that I usually struggle the most on OPO6. Thankfully, this is good news. It means the red purple does get a lot better on EB-01. The only thing I corrected him in my comment was McDonald's Toy Law and Automa get Hina and Borsa into bottom decking. The Borsa, we know it's not true, because if he's talking about the blue Borsa, the guy is just a 7k or 8k body, so obviously he's not talking about promo law into the Borsa. And if it is the blocker, remember, Borsalino is a 6k body when he's on your turn, when he's on the field. So maybe the guy just does not know this, or does not remember. Maybe on his locals people don't call him out on that. I don't know. But this is a guy that's in the east, as you can see here. So yeah, the Borsellino, the blocker Borsellino cannot be taken away with the promo law, McDonald's toy law, or Otama. Keep that in check, because you can only use these two effects on play, and this means on play, it means you're going to be on your turn. So on your turn, Borsellino will be a 6k body. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and goodbye.